My problem with the Book of Mormon is the lack of historical evidence. Do we have the plates?
Good question. Do you believe that the words of the Bible are true?
Yeah.
Okay. Paul says to the Corinthians, "In the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established." In the Book of Mormon, at the very beginning of it, a testimony from 12. So it's not 2, it's not 3, but there's 12. It must be true, right? Because there's at least 2 or 3.
With that same logic, is Islam true too? Because there's a lot of eyewitnesses there?
Good question.
Because you take that verse and you apply it to the Book of Mormon. If you're consistent, you also have to take that verse and apply it to Islam too, and every other thing as well. Yep.
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, this verse is often misunderstood in Corinthians. So there are 2 ways to look at it. One is personal interactions, right? When we say in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, this is kind of going back to the law of Moses. Nobody could be condemned unless there were at least 2 witnesses to their crime. So if you're going to accuse somebody of stealing, you had to have at least 2 people who could testify to the theft. If you're going to accuse them of blasphemy, you have to have at least 2 witnesses who could testify to the blasphemy. And that's what Paul is talking about here. This law of witnesses was, to establish anything as true, you needed multiple witnesses. And that was largely, as I say, the legal code of the law of Moses. Now, Paul is also using this to establish doctrine. And we see this again in the Doctrine and Covenants in section 6, where Oliver Cowdery and Joseph Smith together will be the 2 witnesses to establish new scripture, to establish the light that is coming forth in the restoration. But we also have this idea expanded to the testimony of 2 nations. The Bible is the testimony of the nation of the Jews. The Book of Mormon is the testimony of the nation, or say the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Joseph. These are the 2 testimonies, the 2 witnesses to the gospel. Now, they want to compare it to the Islam. The problem with this is that Islam doesn't actually have that many first-hand eyewitnesses to the claims of Muhammad. Was Muhammad real? Yes. And when we actually do have multiple witnesses, then we can assume that what they're talking about is likely true. But the appearance of Gabriel to Muhammad, the writing of the Quran, these things don't have multiple witnesses. They have Muhammad, and that's it. They don't even have later prophets witnessing of it, because they say that Muhammad was the last prophet. See, with the appearance of the first vision, Joseph Smith was the only one there. Why do we trust that? Why do we believe that that happened, even though there was only one witness to it? Because we have others to whom God appeared and confirmed Joseph Smith's witness. When the angels came to Oliver Cowdery, and later to David Whitmer and Martin Harris, this was confirmation that the work that Joseph Smith was doing was from God. And so we don't have an eyewitness account of the first vision other than Joseph Smith, but we have other witnesses testifying that God has declared the work to be his. Same thing with Moses and the burning bush. He was the only one there. We have no other witness of that event, of the burning bush event. But because we have the testimony of Aaron and the testimony of Miriam and the testimony of others that Moses was indeed called of God, that God confirmed this to them through their own visits, through their own visions, we can trust that Moses is telling the truth. We don't have anything like that for the religion of Islam. We have claims from Muhammad, we have testimonies of his life outside those claims, but we have no real claim, at least none that I have personally found, of somebody witnessing the angel Gabriel, somebody having another vision to confirm Muhammad's. That's what we're missing with Islam. So now, you want to believe that the angel Moroni was the devil, was the demon, whatever, fine. But if you're going to say that the plates never existed, you've got a problem because of the multiple witnesses. You're going to say that nobody ever saw an angel, you still got a problem because you have at least 5 people who testified to seeing the angel Moroni. So what did they see? With Muhammad, the fact that he did live, that he claimed to have these visions, all that's true. And the witnesses bear out that historical truth. Did Gabriel appear to Muhammad? There is no witness other than Muhammad for that happening. Now, in this video, of course, you have two young elders, probably not that well read, at least they probably haven't read deeply into the histories of the various religions. But the claim that we have all these first-hand accounts of Muhammad and the religion of Islam is simply not true.